One of the most important factors in determining the success of an individual later on in life is the education that they receive in their youth, primarily from elementary, middle, and high schools. This education is what sets the foundation of their interests that they will then pursue later on in the workforce or maybe even in college. To ensure that these students have the credentials needed to pursue these ideals, they need to have a strong curriculum base which reinforces values and materials that they will need to succeed. As of late, new curriculum maps have not been doing their job and have actually been more of a hindrance to student learning rather than an aid. Of these new curriculum maps, what they implore are things such as skill-based learning, standardized testing, and new and different techniques of teaching that actually prove to be more detrimental rather than helpful. So, in order to combat this, I propose that the people such as teachers, administrators, and employers, the ones who will eventually see the results, the ones who are teaching, and the ones who are employing people into the workplace should be the ones to write the curriculum, since they are the ones who know what students are going to need in order to succeed in this world. So we need to look at the issues in the new curriculum and show why they don't work. One of the biggest issues with the new curriculum is the skill-based learning that is being introduced into earlier years, such as elementary schools. Skill-based learning was meant to be a way of introducing skills in children to either decipher a text or find a hidden meaning in order to make them think bigger, so that then later on in higher level learning, they will have an easier time understanding the topics, which is great in theory. However, in practice, it is not practical and has actually confused kids more than it has aided them. In the article on The Atlantic, written by Natalie Wexter, entitled "Elementary Education Has Gone Terribly Wrong," Natalie Wexter went to multiple schools and interviewed multiple teachers and classes. In one such class, she went up to a child and saw that the child was drawing clowns. She went to the child and asked why the child was drawing clowns, to which the child replied, "The paper says to draw clowns. It says right there. So that's what I'm doing." Upon further inspection, Wexter finds that the paper actually says draw conclusions rather than clowns, which is proof that skill-based learning in theory works, but in practice fails. Without a strong knowledge base before a strong skill base, students will not be able to understand the skills that they are learning and will not be able to apply them to a knowledge that they do not have. Another part of new curriculum that has shown not to work is standardized testing, which are tests that are enforced by either regions or states and set a standard of material needed to be known by the students and will be tested upon to show the results of the schools. This, in theory, sounds nice. It gives everyone a standard and a goal to adhere by, and is something that everyone can strive for and be an equal opportunity. But often these standardized tests do not actually have what is needed to succeed, and teachers often see this. So they will go and they will try to teach their own ways, but often find that their success is rated upon how they do on the test, which disenfranchises them and demoralizes them. So they are no longer willing to teach, or willing to teach in a way that inspires learning. And so in the article by Mercury News, Why Parents Struggle with Common Core Math Design, the diagrams are absolutely insane. They interviewed former teachers who are now looking back and trying to help the communities that they are in and try and strive for good, strong curriculum maps, have shown that the teachers, former teachers, are not excited about these standardized tests, that they encourage teachers to teach the test rather than teach the material, and often lead to students learning things that are going to be not used later in life and are inadequate and a waste of time. And these teachers are showing results that students from before and after these changes were implemented have shown a rapid decrease in knowledge. And in one of these fields is math, where they also, apart from standardized testing, have introduced new skills that are untested but were told to work. Some of these skills include drawing complex diagrams to organize but inflate the work that a student needs. Sounds good for students who struggle with the way math is taught and different things, but for the average student who is capable of learning simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, it is often too daunting and too time-consuming for them. In Aaron Richards' article on USA Today titled "Math Scores Stink in America, Other Countries Teach It Differently," there was a study that showed that America, who had just adopted these new skills and techniques, tested against some other countries. And out of 79 of first world countries, America placed 31st, barely hitting the halfway mark, to where we used to be in the top 5 or the top 3. And so this example reinforces the dire situation of America, its ability to teach math with the skills that it was provided. So once again, I say that to protect the ideals and to ensure that students learn what they need to, we need to let the people who are teaching, who are managing the people who are teaching, and the ones who are employing, all the people that see the results and use the individuals that are getting this knowledge, have the ability to speak on their behalf and say, we know that this is what they'll need in the future, so let us show them what they will need and let the curriculum follow what they will need to survive in the workplace and higher education.